Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we have some potential spoilers on AEW's Devil.
WWE's in talks with AEW's TV network.
CM Punk.
And the true brutality of WWE's tryouts have been revealed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy.
And this is the news.
All right, we're going to talk today about the Devil a little bit, give you a little bit of Devil scoopskis, courtesy of Fightful Select. A report on who is not the Devil, according to a high-level source within AEW. Lots of names have been linked to this role. Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, Wardlow, Britt Baker at one point. And that was my theory for a little while.
Yeah.
Probably not. And another one, quite notable, Jack Perry. AEW's been doing all these teasers, right? They had the beer bottle last week, and you go, oh, it's Hangman Page. Wardlow had ruffled hair one week. Oh, it might be him. Roddy Strong's trunks. This week, Hangman got put through a car window, which had real glass on it. And of course, the genesis of Jack Perry currently being suspended or being off TV is the real glass thing with CM Punk, where they had a fight.
Cry me a river.
That's how Jack Perry speaks.
Yeah.
You know what happened at All In. They had a big fight. Jack's been away. But Jack Perry not involved in the angle. So you can probably rule him out. I'll just read to you the report here. A high-level source in AEW doesn't think that Perry's involved, and of course previously Fightful have reported that the people who are currently under the mask are the people who will be revealed. Now, it's wrestling. They could change this any second. They could suddenly re-sign Bobby Fish and put him in there if they want. They could do anything. They can do whatever they want. But Perry had been suspended since August. The suspension is now over, according to Fightful, so he's conceivably ready to return, even though he hasn't quite been back at shows yet. There's been a lot of teasing, a lot of speculation, a lot of other stuff. It's been a storyline for like 4 months now. It's been going on a while. You'd imagine there'll be some kind of reveal maybe at World's End.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's coming. I don't think it's going to be a name that hasn't already been mentioned.
No.
I think that the Coles and the Strongs and the other names, those are probably in the wheelhouse of who it's going to be. Maybe not Cole, because he's got an angle that's made of syrup at the moment. The poor guy. But yeah, there you go.
I think it's the right call not having Jack Perry to be the Devil, to be honest, because I think that when people had speculated on Perry being the Devil, it certainly divided opinion online. And also, just in terms of like a booking thing, he doesn't need it. No. Like, he's going to get a reaction when he comes back one way or another, and just adding a gimmick on top of it is kind of unnecessary. It's almost like you have been handed this thing whenever you want to bring Jack Perry back that is going to guarantee talk, reaction, all the good stuff that you want to do. So having him be like, oh, and also I've been doing Devil stuff. It feels like it's trending more, despite it, as you say, the teasers for Page and Perry, towards Adam Cole. I think everyone seems to have made peace with that sort of thing, and you can sort of piece it together, him sitting in the ring the other week and fiddling with someone in his pocket, and then what have you, and then, like you say, there was someone who slowed down some footage that they showed at the ring after people said, oh, whoever's in the gimmicks are the people, the henchmen for the Devil, and I was like, he's moving like Kyle O'Reilly, and obviously, with great news we reported recently, he's on his way back to working for WWE, AEW even.
He's left AEW.
Yes, it's gone back. So I think you don't really need it to be Perry for him to.
No, and I think if maybe he does need something different. I think when he comes back, and the Devil would obviously be a bit different for him. But I would like to see him find his voice a little bit more. The heel run, I don't think it really landed. There was some fun stuff, right? The hook match was actually really good.
Yeah.
At All In, and there was some other fun stuff in there as well. But yeah, he does need something new, but for me, not the Devil. But let us know down below who you would have as the Devil, who do you want it to be, and who do you think it is. Because that could be two different things. You might want it to be Goldberg, and then if Gilbert turns up, oh no.
Right back.
Hi, Henry Kissinger or someone.
Hey, that could be a way to get back in the business. He said he'd retire, of course.
He did.
But the Devil never retires. But whatever happens, Andy, that reveal is probably going to happen on television. Speaking of which, key WWE executives have apparently held talks with Warner Brothers Discovery, according to PW Insider's Mike Johnson. WBD's Bruce Campbell met with TKO Group's Mark Shapiro, Nick Khan, and Paul Levesque, Triple H, from WWE on Monday. several hours chatting about potentially them coming to that network, which would just throw everything up in the air. Obviously, Raw's current deal expires October of 2024. AEW's deal with the WBD around the same time, up for grabs. Of course, it'd trigger a huge domino effect. Now, WBD aren't the only suitors looking to take WWE Raw, and Tony Khan also said on the Final Battle media call that he'd had chats with WBD officials. But it's all up for grabs, Andy, and this could make things very, very interesting.
It is, and I'll tell you what, I'll just jump straight into my story because it's related to that, and then we can kind of talk about everything together. Who's the difference maker in this, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, it was reported that the Warner Brothers and WWE was dead.
Yes.
Right? It wasn't happening a few weeks ago. What has happened to change that?
R-Truth came back at Survivor Series.
R-Truth came back at Survivor Series.
Love him. It's not him, though.
CM Punk.
Of course.
He's the difference maker in all of this. Dave Meltzer reporting on Wrestling Observer Radio that Punk has opened the door between the two parties, and that's why this meeting has taken place. Actually, when it comes to Raw and Warner and TBS and TNT and all of that stuff, Punk's a big part of the pitch, predicated on the idea that Punk is going to be on Raw, right? And they've used his social media numbers, his ratings, his merch sales so far as, hey, look how good this is. Obviously, One Bill Phil, you remember that? That was referencing a WBD person.
Yeah.
So there you go. This whole thing ties together quite nicely. Dave did note that there's no guarantee, right? So the AEW consequences are what will get a lot of people talking here. Dave did note, and I'm a personal friend of his, that's why I can call him Dave, that there might not necessarily be like an exclusivity clause. So if Warner and WWE come to a term, that might not mean AEW can't be on the same network. It would depend on whether or not Warner want to have two wrestling properties. But it's noted, of course, here, Vince McMahon doesn't run WWE anymore. That is something he would do. He'd be like, no, get lost. And it might be something that Endeavor do as well, but it's not necessarily guaranteed. So, and another interesting wrinkle in all of this is the long-standing rumor that Warner actually owns part of AEW.
Yeah.
Which Tony Khan has never properly denied.
No, he's not shot that down completely.
But he's always been like, well, I have 100% decision-making power, which could be a different thing.
Yes.
So there you go. Punk potentially making the difference in all of this. Of course, he was fired by AEW in September. He's back in WWE. Wrestling's going to look a lot different next year.
Yeah, we've known for ages that Warner are big fans of CM Punk, and obviously, if you're WWE, hence why they've had him signed for Raw, of course, you put him front and center of that show to be like, well, he'll be on this show if you want to offer us loads of money to take us to your network. What I want, I've never considered that. What I want is, like we don't really get it here in the UK, but on American shows when there's Big Bang Theory or something going on, and then in the bottom corner, there's people like Jocelyn being like, oh, these people blew you like, and it's like, oh, by the way, I don't know, young Sheldon's coming up in a minute. I want that. I want Raw to be on telly and like bloody MJF. What's he like, eh? Adam Cole. By the way, Dynamite's on Wednesday. People would go insane if that
advertising
happens.
Each other back and forth.
If you're enjoying this wrestling, don't forget to join Dynamite on Wednesday. What is that going to sound like? It would be a bit like, remember when Michael Cole threw to the Hardy thing.
Oh,
he was like, sorry about this bollocks.
Yeah, he was right. He got it right. But yeah, it's going to be a weird world. AEW, if they get shot off Warner, who've been their partners since day one, I don't think they're going to struggle for another deal.
About to say that, yeah.
Dynamite just finished number 1 last night, they finished pretty well on Wednesdays. Fridays and Saturdays, not so much, but they're harder time slots. I think AEW will be fine.
Yeah, TV networks love live sports, don't they?
Like, I don't think there's much reason for super AEW fans to be like bricking the bed or anything about this. But it is very interesting, and there were some rumors. You probably saw on Twitter on like Tuesday night. We could have or Wednesday night. We could have covered this yesterday, but I wanted to wait until there were some actual reports on it. That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah,
today.
we're not going to rely on Gary, who saw Triple H out for a coffee with someone he thought might have been wearing a WWED hoodie or something.
Guy with Bailey avatar, and their username is like Crazy Extreme Dave 54 28 92.
It's weird. Do you know what else is weird, Andy? QR codes.
Hell yeah, you should. Wow, I didn't even know. Yeah, check this out. It's really cool. And thank you for everyone who scanned this so far.
Yeah.
Really overwhelmed by the support. More cool stuff coming soon. Here it is.
Moving on to our final story today, me and Andy not feeling so great off the back of WhatCulture's Christmas party. But it could be worse. We could have just gone to a WWE tryout because NXT's Brooks Jensen, brilliant, love that guy, has been chatting on Scoop Slammed about what they put you through. And I really didn't need this morning, if I'm honest. Brooks said, I get to the Performance Center for the tryout. I don't know who the other 3 people were, but in this tryout it was myself, Bodie Hayward, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Brutus Creed, and Tony D'Angelo. He's in there with a mega star. Actually, they're all pretty big stars, to be honest. But yeah, the training was brutal. It was, I want to say, 200 push-ups. That's me out straight away.
Yeah, I can do 5.
200 squats.
I can do 0.
200 sit-ups. 200 get-ups. I struggled to get up out of bed this morning and get back down. And that was just the warm-up. Bloody hell. It continued, by the way. It was just basically full of cardio, running in a ring, doing rolls, staying to the basics. Obviously, they're bringing in athletes, the next in line stuff. They assume people have got some athleticism about them, but it is. I mean, I've never even been through it, but all you hear is how massively draining it is being a wrestler. It was a really cool experience, continues Brooks, but it's really tough. I'm really glad that I got to experience that, and I'm even more fortunate that I got signed out of that class.
Good for him. Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Personally, I would manage maybe 1 or 2 of those exercises before dying. But no, like they're trying to, for the PC at least, they're trying to sign elite athletes, aren't they? And like cardio machines and monsters and beasts.
Being in there with Braun Breaker. Slow down, Braun.
Yeah, go away. Can I stand next to someone else? You're just going to look awful, aren't you, by comparison? So yeah, this seemed like a fun activity. To me.
Maybe we'll make a video where we try and do it,
No.
or maybe we'll just get Simon Miller to do it because he could actually do
You
it.
could probably pull it off. Yeah.
It just makes me think of the Louis Theroux bucket.
Oh,
documentary.
God, they treated Louis like ass in that thing, didn't they?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Some people back in the day in the wrestling business, not good dudes.
Bunch of assholes.
Thankfully nowadays.
Everyone.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, you want to get in touch with us. Starting off a question from Lance M. Sned. Sorry, Lance, if I've butchered your surname there. All the speculation about the devil, of course. Lance says, I think people should ask, who are the devils?
Whoa.
I think AEW will pull from the Scream franchise playbook. There will be multiple devils, not just different wrestlers under the mask. The reveal will be multiple people. That's quite clever, and that could, I suppose, work around the whole Adam Cole can't walk gimmick.
It could be the eel.
Could be the eel.
Multiple eels. Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, there's 4. What is there? 4?
Yeah, I suppose with the
Right
henchmen, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have to necessarily be one big boss and 4 people working underneath them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady,
Yeah,
right?
I think Wardlow's kind of done being told what to do.
Yeah, I think he's had enough of that. Yeah, it could be like a coalition.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Roddy, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Wardlow. I think that's going to be the 4. But yeah, like it's not just gonna be one dude controlling traffic. I think there'll probably be a degree of parity there.
I can see it being Cole but this would work better in terms of like, well, Cole's. I mean, I suppose technically when you saw the devil, if I remember right, on Wednesday, he was not getting out of a car. He was just leaning against it, so you could have been supporting your weight. But I think you're right. I think you've nailed it there. I think you've got the 4, possibly with the addition of Adam Cole.
Or maybe Kyle as well.
Because you had that, the Britt Baker thing you mentioned was because when they first showed the devil on one of the backstage things, it was quite slight.
Very slight,
It's not going to be Wardlow for that one, for
Not
example.
Broad-shouldered. No. I was like, it couldn't have been Wardlow. It's a monster.
Unless he was in one of those weird mirrors you see at the circus.
What? It's like the Ultimate Warrior, WCW.
Sean Ackland gives us our second question of the day. To whoever's left after the WhatCulture Christmas party, hey, we're always here, we're journalists at the end of the day. Who do you really want to break out in 2024? As a fan of NXT UK and loving the few matches he was able to have and bend people in inexplicable ways, give me more Charlie Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey.
Sean thinks that Charlie's WWE ZSJ, very technically gifted, of course.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see break out next year?
I'm just going to answer the eel for all these questions.
Who breaks out? People are in trouble.
Eel. Breaking out Top Flight in AEW would be cool. I think they've had such rotten luck with car accidents, the poor guys, and injuries over the years that I really would like to see them get
just a
really,
consistent run. That's a
yeah,
good shout.
get a really cool run. I mean, there's lots of potential options. Yuka Sakazaki when she comes back. Over in WWE, I like Big Chaz Dempsey a lot. I think that's a fun. The Obafemi.
I was about to say him.
The you've been showing me loads of cool stuff.
Oh boy,
of.
he looks massive. He
fun.
sort of had a brief few appearances. I think he maybe even worked one of the either the TV special or maybe not a pay-per-view premium live event, but he definitely did a match on there. He's in the breakout tournament. He looks incredible. Speaking of which, Lola Vice is going to have a huge 2024. There
you go.
I think she's really tipped for big things. And in terms of AEW, who's going to really break out? Somebody who hasn't really been utilised or even noticed in 2023.
Yeah, they're just waiting to make it to the top. They've,
the top of their profession.
They've got Jake Hager.
Layla Gray. There you go.
Fair enough. Is she still there?
I can see Danhausen there.
Aye. Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't seen Layla Gray on TV.
She's in there. She's in the Jolinton box.
There you go.
So there you go. Final question for the day. Then we can all go and get a coffee. Comes from Sean Eggs, who says, "Morning, Santa's little help." This morning, Sean.
Hi.
Which wrestling personality would you like to have at your WhatCulture Christmas party? Here's Lois after one of ours. First of all, good dog.
Dog's had a rough one. Rough, get it? Hey, Matt.
Would you want the Outrunners at the Christmas party?
No, because they would steal the show.
Another great ROH promo I saw from them last night.
They would tire everyone out. They're too much energy.
Yeah.
I know, but I would because they're fun. I've not seen their ROH promo. I need to watch that.
Yeah. More good stuff as always.
Willow Nightingale, because she brings good vibes to the party.
They are spreading. They're spreading their worth and their girth across the earth. I love them so much. Willow's a great show. I was going to say Chad Gable for the good vibes.
Yeah.
Otis as well.
He would tell people to shut up is the problem with Chad Gable, isn't it? That's his famous catchphrase. Shut up!
And you also, we want to really make it a proper Christmas party.
Yeah, let's have a...
Tell you who you need if you're going to have a real Christmas party. It is, of course...
welcome to the Christmas party, Julia Hart.
Yeah.
She's going to get you with a mist, brother.
Can we have a booth, please? No. Okay.
You're in the House of Black now.
And I'll tell you who else would make a great Christmas party. Swerve Strickland.
Oh, yeah.
He
might home invade us is the problem. But yeah, why not?
Swerve, just trying to have a nice Christmas party.
Is he bringing Nana with him?
It's all dying. Yeah. Without question.
100%.
And if it dies down a bit, he's like, "Hey guys, have you seen this?" Just staples himself in the chest.
Yeah. Drink my blood, boys.
All right, thanks. I'm gonna go and get another glass of Skittles. That was a mistake at 2 a.m. this morning. But to tell you what's not a mistake, Andy.
This one.
Checking out this video. See you later.
See you later, guys.